Now at 11, Venezuela's president in U.S. custody and awaiting trial.
This was an arrest of 2 indicted fugitives of American justice.
This is the same Washington playbook that we are so sick and tired of.
In a surprise military operation that left dozens dead, upended the South American country and is being met with both outrage and celebration here in the States.
We needed this. We have been screaming freedom for decades.
We're out here to say no more. We demand accountability.
The latest details on that operation, plus the United States case against President Nicolas Maduro, tonight. Thanks for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife are scheduled to make their first court appearances in New York City tomorrow. It's after the United States captured them in a surprise attack early Saturday. Cuba announcing tonight that 32 Cuban security officers were killed in the military operation in Venezuela. Several U.S. troops were hurt, to which President Trump said today they're in good shape.
Department of War went in, they hit anything that was a threat to the agents that were going in to arrest them, and they hit anything that was a threat on the way out.
The U.S. indictment against Maduro accuses him of being a partner with a major drug trafficking organization known as ELN. His arrest drew a wide range of reactions from protests denouncing the federal government's actions to Venezuelans celebrating Maduro's ouster. Members of Congress are divided, mostly along party lines.
It remains to be seen whether the people of Venezuela are going to be better off. Donald Trump claims that he's going to run Venezuela. He's done a terrible job running the United States of America.
Today is definitely a glorious day, not only for the Venezuelans, but for the Cubans and for the whole hemisphere.
In a statement posted to social media, Venezuela's acting president invited the U.S. to, quote, collaborate on an agenda of cooperation within the framework of international law. The United Nations Security Council is set to hold an emergency meeting tomorrow on the situation in Venezuela. According to Reuters, the planned UN meeting of the 15-member council was requested by Colombia and backed by Russia and China. The UN released a statement on Saturday saying Secretary General Antonio Guterres was, quote, deeply alarmed by the recent escalation in Venezuela and that U.S. actions, quote, constitute a dangerous precedent. Maduro's capture has led to protests popping up in our area as well, many speaking out against federal overreach or accusing the government of distracting from other issues. But we also wanted to hear from Venezuelans here locally. Our Jay Coulter has the story.
We spoke with the owner of a Venezuelan restaurant here in Portland who says she was overjoyed when she learned that Maduro had been removed.
We needed this. We have been screaming freedom for decades.
Veronica Gutierrez owns La Arepa, a Venezuelan restaurant in Southeast Portland. We stopped by Sunday to ask her thoughts on Saturday's capture of President Maduro.
As American Venezuelans, we understand the Americans' point of view. Even if it's legal or it's not legal, or who is doing this, or the way it's been done, we get it, but we feel happy about it.
Gutierrez says she left Venezuela in 2005 because even back then she experienced hyperinflation, corruption, and not being able to develop as a professional.
And all organizations and departments being managed by the same people just because they support the government, and everything going tight and tight. Your freedom or the way you can speak, like I'm doing it right now with no repercussions, is something that we really wanted to have back.
She says she believes what President Trump did was going to be the only way to get Maduro out.
There's no other way of get rid of this situation other than having a military intervention of extraction, because this is not a change of regime. We already decided about it on July 28, 2024. We decided to have him out massively, but he didn't listen to the people, and he also didn't listen to all the opportunities that he had to leave the country without being extracted.
There is credible evidence that Maduro lost the 2024 election. The opposition claimed by more than 80%, which the Carter Center here in the States, who observed the Venezuelan election at the government's invitation, declared legitimate. With Maduro gone, we asked Gutierrez what she'd like to see happen next.
The liberation of all political prisoners that are already in danger. That's the first thing. And the second, a peaceful transition so Edmundo González Urrutia can come back and do his duties as a president because we voted for him.
She added that she has no problem with the U.S. being an intermediary during the transition period. Jake Holter, KGW News.
While some Americans have been celebrating Maduro's capture, others across the nation have been protesting the American government. That includes another protest in Clark County held by Indivisible Greater Vancouver. One organizer telling us it's not just about the legality of the capture, but also the other issues they have with the Trump administration, including healthcare costs and the attacks on the LGBTQ community.
We want this to stop, and quite frankly, it's to put pressure on our representatives because they need to know that until they assert themselves and reassert their authority, this won't stop.
Again, Maduro and his wife are expected to make their first appearances before a federal judge on Monday. You can stay up to date on this story and find all of the statements from our region's lawmakers by visiting our website, kgw.com. You can also stream us on your own schedule through our streaming app, KGW+. New here at 11, 4 people are dead, including 3 Oregon women after a helicopter crash Friday in Arizona. The Pinal County Sheriff's Office in that state says the chopper hit a slack line that was strung across mountains near the town of Superior. The Sheriff's Office says the pilot killed is from Arizona and the 3 women were family members. Other family members posted on social media. The women are 2 sisters and a cousin from Echo, Oregon. The Sheriff's Office has not officially confirmed that. We have a traffic update for you tonight. Highway 6 has partially reopened in Tillamook County after it was shut down for repairs nearly all day today. A section near milepost 35 was washed out following a landslide that's west of Banks. Traffic is restricted to 1 lane with flagging, and drivers should use an alternate route if possible. And we have new pictures that shows the size of that landslide that forced the closure of Highway 229. This is between Kernville and Siletz. The stretch of road has been shut down since the slide happened on December 19th. We've reached out to ODOT for more details on this closure, but they've said this is expected to be a long-term shutdown. Well, the first weekend of 2026 brought a little bit of everything today. Some sunshine, some clouds, and plenty of rain as well. Let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri with more on what the first week of 2026 is going to look like. Hey, Joe.
Hey there, John. Yeah, well, it also brought a good amount of snow up in the Oregon Cascades, and there's more to come. But here's a look at the forecast for tomorrow in the lower elevations. A chance to see some light morning showers, a cool start. You're going to want to know to grab that jacket as you get ready to head out the door and take the kids to the bus stop. Mostly sunny skies by the afternoon, and the first full week of 2026 is going to be cool and wet, but not so much wet for tomorrow. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes, but I want to talk about the Oregon Cascades outside Timberline Lodge right now. Temperature of 25 degrees, 6 inches of new snow in the last 24 hours. And well, there's going to be a winter storm watch that will be taking place from Tuesday morning. It'll be staying in effect until about Thursday. During that window, we could be looking at close to a couple feet of snow. So things are looking really nice up in the Oregon Cascades. Again, that winter storm watch stretches up and down the Washington and Oregon Cascades. So be prepared to be heading in that direction. In terms of rainfall amounts today, we've seen about 1/3 of an inch of rain in the metro area. Just a little bit more than that over in Scappoose and along the Oregon coast. Yeah, it was a wet one. Over 1.5 inches in both Astoria and not too far behind over in Tillamook along the central Oregon coast. But looking into tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit nicer along the coast. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, we'll see you then. We have an update today to a deadly shooting that happened outside of a Vancouver bar. The suspect is now in police custody after turning himself in. Vancouver police say 28-year-old Jared Taylor allegedly shot and killed a 43-year-old man after the two got into an argument. It happened just before 1 early Saturday morning at the Off-Ramp Sports Bar on Northeast 112th Avenue. Police arrived to find the victim dead in the parking lot of the bar. Taylor has been booked on charges including murder. The investigation is ongoing. In Lincoln County, investigators are looking into an incident that left 2 people dead and 1 hurt. It started after Newport police were called to a home on Northwest Grove Street where they found the body of 1 man and another man who had been stabbed. The body was identified as 42-year-old Matthew Wanzer, who was shot by a person living at the home as he attacked the stabbing victim. While investigating this case, police found the body of 58-year-old Robert Pettycourt in a nearby motel. He had multiple stab wounds. The stabbing victim, who is still alive, was taken to a Portland hospital in critical condition. No one has been arrested. Police ask anyone with information to reach out. New tonight, Hillsborough firefighters were kept busy this weekend by a house that caught fire twice. The first time was just before 9 last night in the area of Northeast Sunrise Lane and 21st Avenue. As soon as fire crews got on scene, they called for more help to put out that fire. They had to navigate rescuing 2 people and a power line that had fallen down. Of the 6 pets that were reported to be in the home, 4 were found dead. Then, just before 10 this morning, fire crews were called back after our KGW crew saw smoke and flames coming from the home yet again.
And the fact that it was boarded up made it difficult to force entry again this morning. I mean, they did a great job last night securing the property, which made it a little bit challenging this morning getting back in. So that's a big risk to the firefighters.
The 2 people that were living there have been displaced. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. And local first responders had to conduct a rope rescue after a driver went over an embankment. It happened just before 1 this morning near Southeast Troutdale Road and Division Drive in Troutdale. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies found the car about 20 feet down and heard the driver calling for help. After pulling him out, the driver was treated at the hospital and cited for DUII.